I'm delighted to have Tomek join me for a bite-sized chat. Tomek is the founder of Bitcoin Film Festival. This year marks the third anniversary for your main annual event held in Warsaw, Thursday the 22nd to Sunday the 25th of May. Good morning, Tomek. How are you doing
Hello,
today?
good morning. Hey, thank you for invitation. Thank you for listening. It's not the third anniversary, but to be precise, it will be third edition because the first one happened 2 years ago. So it's like third edition. We are going into third year, yes.
Okay, no, understood. The motto of Bitcoin Film Festival is Unfiat the culture, which I love. Why is it that film is such a good medium to affect this change?
In general, I and all of our team, we are convinced that culture is probably the most powerful medium of conveying ideas, transporting some values, educating, inspiring, perhaps more than educational systems or pamphlets or discussion clubs. Culture in general is the thing that through osmosis, without putting ideas straight to audience head, you can get them to think on their own, of course, and perhaps get some of your ideas. And movies, cinema, is the most powerful vehicle of culture of this medium today. We also love cinema. That's why we thought, okay, this initiative, after small research and talking with filmmakers in Bitcoin space, we decided, okay, there needs to be some organization that will facilitate the growth of Bitcoin cinema industry with the goal of influencing the culture somehow. Like all of the goal of art is somehow influencing the culture. And unfiating means, I guess it's still to be defined by you.
Yep.
In this of the conference, and we will discuss about it. What does it mean? Is there something wrong that we see in today's, at least mainstream pop culture? Is there something that we consider fiat or Bitcoin? I guess there is, and that's one of the founding observations of Bitcoin Film Fest is that there exists something like Bitcoin culture. We have Bitcoin protocol, code, software, hardware, infrastructure, but after this 16 years of this phenomena, we have our own heroes, values, dramas, stories, things that catch, things that inspire, things that touch something delicate in your heart, perhaps, which doesn't even have to discuss this decentralized protocol on the blockchain. So there are things like Bitcoin, niche values, ethos, and yes, it's still to be defined. So on the other side, something that we see is rotten, is wrong with the culture, and it's a side effect, it's an outflow from the disruption and destruction of monetary system, how rotten it is, it eventually falls down to culture and it makes it fiat. So our goal is to identify what's wrong there and fix it. Of course, we will not do it with one festival, maybe with 3.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe every year we will have a celebration of Bitcoin culture, of redefining its values and finding good means to convey them. I guess we can achieve this goal.
Excellent. I love Bitcoin Film Fest as a grassroots initiative. And there's many other grassroots initiatives, particularly in the Bitcoin industry, designed to educate the public and influence the culture. Could you tell us the origin story of Bitcoin Film Fest and what makes it so special?
I don't put a claim that it's so special. You did.
This is true.
The origin story, I organize Bitcoin meetups in Poland. I tried to kickstart the Maxis community years ago, 3-4 years ago. Then I discovered actually I did this research on Nost and on Twitter. I put Bitcoin and Warsaw, and I'm like, okay, let's see, maybe somebody lately that I don't know of yet posted something about it. And there was like a post 2 days ago. Hey, me and my boyfriend tagged, are in Warsaw and a Bitcoin thing happening. And I checked this guy. His name is Pierre Corbin. He was a Bitcoiner from France who did this documentary, The Great Reset and the Rise of Bitcoin. And I'm like, oh, we have some Bitcoin guy. He has Polish girlfriend and they are in Warsaw. Let's show his movie, right? So I just quickly DM'd him. Hey, bro, come over. We will do a meetup and we can show your movie. Oh, great. Let's do a screening of my film. Like a week later, we are meeting at this venue. We had small disagreement with the venue. We couldn't screen it. There was like just no ready screen for this. So just, of course, grabbed beers with other Bitcoiners and had the discussions. And after a few beers, me and Pierre, we had this idea, okay, maybe one screening didn't work out. Maybe we should just already go for a few. Let's call the cinema. Okay, maybe not now, maybe tomorrow. I was already grabbing my phone. So the next day, I reached out to cinema with a beginning of the idea. That's how cooperation started. They said, yes, it's possible. If you do this and this and this, you can do festival. We are open for new festivals, new communities. And it's the best cinema, the best venue in Poland for the film festival, Kinoteka, right in the center of Warsaw, in the Palace of Culture. And very quickly, 4 months later, we organized the first Bitcoin Film Fest, which, to our surprise, was quite a small success. And we decided to, it's not just one thing. It's not just a side event to another conference that it was intended to be. It's its own initiative that can exist for whole year, and it does since almost 3 years. We are not doing only the film festival, but we are building the network of Bitcoin cinema behind the screen, facilitating network between filmmakers, their audience, sponsors, promoting with a monthly newsletter, with a daily social media on most LinkedIn, Twitter, research what's happening in Bitcoin film space. Maybe in Hollywood, somebody mentioned Bitcoin, maybe some big studio had put Bitcoin on their balance sheet, or maybe there is some activist who is making a YouTube documentary. So we try to monitor occurrences of this industry and asking with cooperation with our friends, filmmakers, we try to figure how can we be more helpful other than just festival to facilitate the growth of cinema. And we are still actively looking for our place. There is no product market fit because it's still like sidekick for us, a volunteer thing of activism. But, Hollywood also had to start. We believe there is a potential, not specifically about films about Bitcoin or Bitcoiners making films. Of course there is, but in general, there is, I guess, some need, some observation that something is wrong with the legacy Hollywood culture. I believe that's the result of, not directly and only result of it, but one of its causes is money being rotten and politically driven to certain creators, certain platforms that censor some creators, some do not, and it has this bad influence on culture that we are trying to unfiat. So Bitcoin Film Fest is this type of initiative that figures out and grows in Bitcoin cinema, mostly focusing on connecting filmmakers with Bitcoiners audience and with sponsors of their films. Because whenever we ask filmmakers, videographers from the Bitcoin cinema industry, how Bitcoin Film Fest could be helpful of you, instead of, yes, we can promote you, we'd love to screen you at the festival. The first thing that they ask for is, can you help me get funding? The second is, can you help me get the distribution? We are probably not yet in the position to get some movie on Netflix, but perhaps to meet with somebody who can help with it. We are probably not in the position to get $1 million for a movie, but to meet with somebody who is interested in the Bitcoin cinema industry, and those people come to us, that's how we can help. So whoever is working in this space, you're very welcome to hit us up. We are always very happy to talk and to discover that there is more creative people in this place.
Perfect. Yeah, I hope this interview helps with marketing and connecting the people that need to be connected to get these films made. You touched upon Bitcoin Film Fest being like a growing movement, and it's expanding, it's evolving. I know it's really going global, because recently I saw there was a screening as part of an unconference in Thailand, Sats and Facts. How widespread is BFF around the globe now?
It's still not something grandiose that would impress anyone from outside of this space, right? Mm-hmm. Sats and Facts conference was slightly below 100 people. There were like 15 or 20 in our cinema room, because we like to partner with various Bitcoin events around the world. And we did it with Adopting Bitcoin in El Salvador, in Netherlands, in South Africa, and with a Free Madeira conference at BTC Prague, at Plan B Lugano, where we organize little side cinema events, showing trailers, organizing meetups with filmmakers, maybe screening or premiering some movies, which is I guess, good roadshow of our festival. Sometimes without our presence, we are happy to facilitate connection with filmmakers, send some trailers to upcoming films. Is something that is, it works really well on Bitcoin conferences, because very often people sit on stage and either organizers need to buy it themselves some time, because somebody is late on stage, or something is happening, or just in between to break the formula of talk, talk, talk. If you show dynamic trailer that is not conclusive yet, it's promising something that has call to action. Hey, check me on YouTube, follow this creation on Twitter. It's something that is very attractive to the conferences. That's how we also get in and do our promo, also helping them with content. So if you are a conference organizer, happy to partner up with you. But we also try to get our presence with our volunteers and friends in Los Angeles, in the US, to build those networks of Bitcoin filmmakers. There are small things happening behind the screen, again, that doesn't necessarily go up front, but that's also where majority of work in the cinema is. There is so much more time it takes than people imagine. And then screening, for 2 hours of film, if somebody goes to watch, maybe there is some promotion before, but to make it takes years. To get money for it takes years. So also that's also a reason why after 16 years of Bitcoin films, we still don't have Class A, top tier league, huge, great, inspirational, impactful movie. But maybe there are some already in making. Maybe somebody is already having this idea that will become this big film. It's understandable that there is no such yet, but I see there is potential of Bitcoin films being a phenomenon, being a global cultural phenomenon, at least within Bitcoin space. If that happens, I'm happy.
No, I quite agree. The Bitcoin blockbuster is in our sights, I think. We must be getting closer to that.
It's actually, you gave me this idea. It's a nice name, Blockbuster.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, there is a block in Bitcoin. Nice.
Yeah, happy to help the cause. So, talking about movies, the film Dirty Coin was a big attraction and highlight from last year's film festival and attracted a full house. For me, I've only watched this Dirty Coin recently. What a documentary. For me, I'm aware of mining to a degree, but this really solidified my belief. We are really heading on a path to clean energy abundance, and the implications of that for businesses, for innovation, and really for the next era in society. It's going to come to fruition off the second order effects of Bitcoin mining. Have you seen a measurable impact for films such as Dirty Coin in the Bitcoin education space?
I think you just gave me one. If there is one person like you who got informed about something, convinced, and then share its story that you just did, I think it's already an impact. And this impact happens on many such individual scale. Even if Dirty Coin gets recognition and it gets awards, it got awards at the Bitcoin FilmFest for the Best Movie Award. However, I don't think that the impact of the awards is more significant than impacts of those thousands of people like you, and maybe those who haven't heard about Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining before. It's just harder to measure, but I'm sure it is, because I talk with people who've seen this film after the screening or just seen it online. What's their opinion? Opinion varies a lot. Some of these films are for insiders, and they only talk to, at least I would assume, they would only talk to somebody who is within Bitcoin, because I'm within, so I judge from this perspective. But then I talk to a person who first time gets to learn anything about Bitcoin, and they love it. So that's also the beauty of cinema. One creation it doesn't have to be a big Godfather tier movie, but if it can speak to certain type of people, to some people, to maybe even one person, I think it's worth doing. And it stays there. Dirty Coin, My Trust in You is Broken, Searching for Satoshi, Unbankable. Those are films that they might get recognized in 5 years, in 10 years. And we have these examples in cinema history. They will stay there. Maybe somebody in 50 years. I guess it would be interesting to figure out, okay, what actually was the Bitcoin world thinking about mining? How did they imagine this invention that happened in 2040? Let's watch Dirty Coin. It's a great timestamp of our knowledge, of our culture. There is already impact that it's happening on individual scale, and it will continue to happen. Who knows if not on a bigger scale in the future.
So this year, are there any upcoming films that you anticipate having a similar effect that you can share with us?
Yeah, honestly, I'm waiting most for the Bitcoin Executor, which is the largest feature film that comes out of the Bitcoin space, fiction feature film. Because so far, most of the films we've seen are documentaries. There are some, and everybody is waiting for, do we have any comedies? do you have any crime, drama, something that is inspirational? I know about how Bitcoin works or who is Satoshi. I know who is Satoshi. But do you have any fiction? And everybody is waiting for this. It's a large part of culture. Most people, I guess, who love cinema, the documentary is still not on the top watched genres on Netflix, but many people love it, and there are so great docs. There were fiction feature films created out there. Hotel Bitcoin is one of them. It's a Spanish comedy, and most probably we will also see it at the film festival. But it's not. It's coming from the, so to speak, legacy. There is one film in Jakarta, then in Indonesia. There is 2 or 3 crimes from the US, which are about Bitcoin in a sense. Somebody stole Bitcoin from somebody. There is an adventure, but they do not come from the Bitcoin culture. They didn't emerge out of us. They're just films that mention Bitcoin. So I guess it's a bit different category, especially for us who care. Primary goal here is to care about Bitcoin, not so much of cinema. Filmmakers do it. So I'm waiting most of Bitcoin Executor. Hopefully it can premiere on the Bitcoin Fest. Hopefully, I say hopefully because with such titles, it's always it's hard to predict. But for sure, it will be featured. Even if you guys will not watch full film at BFF on May yet, because it will be ready on July, I'm sure you will see a lot of scenes, trailers out of it. Its director will come and tell you a bit more what's so special about it. But of course, we have also some documentaries that we are awaiting. There will be a few short premieres. We are organizing Bitcoin advertisement awards. So there will be a special category of film, video ads. There has been so many advertisements in the space over the years. I love watching them. People love watching them. There is money in advertisement industry for filmmakers. It's easier to attract sponsors, and really there are nicely done ads in Bitcoin space. So we are very happy to do an overview of them at BFF. And this is one of the parts of the festival that I'm mostly awaiting for.
That's really exciting. Bitcoin advertising. So what type of adverts like are showcased there?
Well, there are some nice ads of hardware wallets, mining devices. There are some exchanges advertisement. There are some Bitcoin promo video that is not paid advertisement, but its goal is to promote the idea, and you can call it an ad. In the future, we will probably be screening some online just to tease, after doing our research, to tease the audience to come to Warsaw, but all of them we will screen in Warsaw in May.
So I recently saw the trailer Satoshi the movie on your the BFF X account. Will that be shown this year?
I can't promise yet that, right? Like lots of things need to be still in touch. We just got in touch with the creators. It was a surprise to us to learn about it. It seems to come from very interesting people with very cypherpunkish mindset. And so I'm excited to see what creation it will be. And I really hope that, yes, we can show it at the Bitcoin Film Fest as well.
Okay, no, me too. Now, when it gets to the selection process for BFF 25, are there any specific themes which are selected or that you want to showcase at this year's event?
It's not yet like we are, Bitcoin Films is already a selection. But if we would have to choose, the main theme mining, we would have just one title and there wouldn't be festival. So we don't have a theme of the festival, but we try to this year to frame it, or actually break the frame, and our theme is beyond the frame. Bitcoin Film Fest, it's beyond the frame, which also which aims to show that there is more to the Bitcoin cinema than what you see on the screen. What you see on the screen is a nice result. It can be actually a showcase or promo of things, more major things that are happening behind it. And the same happens with us as an initiative, as Bitcoin Film Fest and Bitcoin cinema industry. There is more than actually is on YouTube or Netflix or on cinema. And if you come here, if you come to Warsaw, you can see it. You can meet those filmmakers who are not just filmmakers, but they actually run some local community. You can see how much work is there besides uploading it to Netflix, right? And also our event is not just showing films in the cinema. We have concerts, we have parties, we have workshops, we have visits at film studios. We have interesting breakfasts or self-defense workshops. So we try to have a festival of Bitcoin culture centered around films, but not just films, beyond the frame.
I love all the different activities that you just listed. Self-defense workshops, is that physical or is that self-custodial?
This will be physical. It will
Physical,
be
excellent.
against the $5 range attack. We do not exist only in the cyberspace. The world around us is rather physical. So it's also good to know the security methods to secure your head and your body.
Okay, no, great. So you mentioned your venue, which is phenomenal. This iconic monument standing over Warsaw at the Palace of Culture and Science, or as you call it, the rebel base of BFF. How did you secure support to use such a prestigious venue?
So yes, Palace of Culture is this very monumental and huge building right in the center of Warsaw. It's probably the most iconic building in Warsaw, if not in Poland. And right in the center, at the main entrance, it has a legendary cinema called Kinoteka. And these guys are very friendly. They are very open to small festivals, to niche festivals, to something that they are also forward thinking. So that's why also I think it appealed to them that we want to do Bitcoin Film Fest. And I'm really grateful for this because it's honestly the best venue you could get for such event in Poland, especially, or even like a symbolic meaning of it. You know, it used to be a symbol of communism, but it's overcame it. Free Poland had made it a symbol of free Warsaw, free Poland. Now also it's becoming one of the most interesting shapes whenever we talk about Bitcoin Film Fest because it's also quite iconic and visually stunning.
Massively. And actually, I saw the 3-minute video pinned to your Bitcoin Film Fest X account. That's hugely worth a watch.
And we got also the best date for the festival. The end of May is absolutely best weather in Poland and a peak of film festival season. We are competing with Cannes Film Festival, which has finally at the same days. So probably we'll steal some audience and filmmakers from them. But I doubt that in any other city in Europe or US, we could get such venue for such a low budget. It's central, it's huge, it's inspiring and very picturesque. Also, it makes our festival quite affordable for users, for guests. We have very cheap tickets. We have very cheap sponsorship packages because we are all bootstrapping it and doing it not for the fast cash grab because there is really nothing to grab at the film festival, but believing in its mission, doing this in a way that it's affordable for any pleb to come to the cinema and watch few films in the ticket price of one, or for any projects or sponsor who would like to have their company credited after the movie. I guess it makes us quite a sustainable project. And yeah, so far almost 3 years are proving it.
Perfect. People are plebs before profit. Tomek, would you have any final message for the Bitesize community?
Well, I wouldn't be surprising or not cliche if I wouldn't invite everyone to Warsaw to come meet me, Chris, filmmakers, other audience, people who care about Bitcoin culture. But I guess this whole episode is also small invite to that. So I guess you guys will see links and footnotes, etc. But that's not my message. My message is to stay healthy, stay safe, watch out for $5 range attacks. Please, really, time is scarce, so please dedicate it to watching only good movies. Okay? Thank you.
Perfect.